What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ashile Sports, and we are here live discussing the fearless prediction of Champions League quarterfinals happening live today and tomorrow. And it's going to be a massive, massive game coming on your way. And you all saw the first leg, how it went against somewhere in France. Somewhere in France, Barcelona actually secured 3 points out of PSG, and also Manchester City drawing 3-3 against Real Madrid in Santiago Bernabeu, as well as Arsenal just giving it away to Bayern Munich because it was also 2-2 in the Emirates Sports Stadium. And somewhere also in Spain, Atletico Madrid secured 3 points in their home against Dortmund. And second leg is happening right now. And hey, we are giving you that fearless analysis and predictions. Who will get into the semi-finals of Champions League is champions of champions. If you are not champion, you are not supposed to be there. And that is why my team like Chelsea is not in the Champions League, because currently they are not the champions we are expecting to see over there. Welcome, Sammy, and also Simon. Kofi, he preferred me to be calling him Kofi or sort of, or Nana, sort of the Simon. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thank you, Ashili.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a while, but yeah, we're back. We're back with Ashile. So
Yeah,
you guys should stay tuned and in fact subscribe to this channel because we're back.
Yeah, so if you
well
are
said.
just
Well
new,
said.
hit the subscription button as well. So, Sammy, I don't know
Yeah.
whether I should start with you, because for quite a long time, Barcelona has not been, and Barcelona wasn't actually the favorites getting into the game against PSG, but they've been able to secure 3 points in the in France at PSG home. Do you think they could be able to maintain a win at home currently?
Yeah, so first of all, let me say a big hi to all the subscribers out there and to all the Barca fans, Visca Barca. But to be frank, the win over PSG in France came as a little surprise because Barca was the underdogs of that match. Since 2019, it's been a couple of years since Barca actually moved or progressed from group stages to get into the quarterfinal. So a lot was favoring PSG, who have done it in the past, winning games, showing a bit of consistency than Barca. So then going to this game, looking at all these factors, everything was pointing to PSG going with a win, especially with their home fans. And we all know what happened the last time um, before we scored them six. We all realized what happened. So at that stadium, it's actually a difficult stadium for Barca. But then Xavi was brilliant. The win actually went for Xavi because he was brilliant. He analyzed the game. He knows a lot of Enrique's tactics. He knew how to nullify those tactics, and at the end of the day, we went well. So now coming to today's game, I really feel that it's actually still an open game. To be a real to be real with anyone, football fans, it's actually an open game because it's 3-2, and right now you know that UEFA has cancelled their away goal rule, so therefore it's more or less like 3 points. Yeah, so if Xavi is able to do what he did in the first leg, nullify the defense, the attack of the PSG, put in if Lewandowski steps up, if the senior players continue to step up, I think Barca can actually win with also the home crowd. So that is so far that's what I can say.
Ashili.
I think
Ashili.
there's a
Yeah.
little technical issues. Yeah,
Mhm.
but then Nana, how did you see the game, the last game?
For me, I think we spoke. We made a live. on this same channel, and that was before, and we had a pre-discussion before the match, the first leg, and I said to Ashili that as you saw Barca to be underdogs, I didn't see Barca to be underdogs in that match. I think I saw PSG to be the underdogs because if you compare both, Barca is not in the best of form as compared to the previous years. But if you compare both leagues, PSG is in a more lighter league or cheaper league. They are not really struggling. Even if they struggle, the other teams who are chasing them will lose, and you just keep the points or keeps what increasing. The gap keeps increasing. So on the other hand, for Barcelona, though Barcelona is not informed this season, but they've been able to what to take on teams. Yeah, especially Madrid also. So I didn't see Barca, though Barca doesn't have, they are not up to the standard they used to be, but I saw them to go through against PSG. So today's match, coming to today's match, is, as you said, it's going to be an open game as well, and whoever would take their chances the best would would definitely go through. Um, Mbappe, Mbappe has to step up for PSG to really win this game because I think when Mbappe leaves PSG, they might not be winning the league as easily as they used to win it. I think other teams in the French league will step up. So at the end of today's match, I'm seeing Barca still pulling through at uh, at the Camp Nou. Yeah,
So, okay, so Barca will be able to pull out magic at Camp Nou. Let's see how it's going to be. Because for me, for sure, you could see both of them actually. But when in the first leg, Barcelona wasn't actually the favorite going into the game, but then they overshadowed PSG in the later part of the game, and I don't think there's nothing new that we are going to get from PSG, even though they are full of surprises as well, because it's very difficult to sometimes stop a player like Mbappe. But in France, Barcelona was able to do that, and it was like Mbappe was just useless in the game because he couldn't actually pull magic for PSG. When whatever is difficult for PSG, Mbappe will actually come out with something. But that game was something that I was actually surprised, and I was happy with Barcelona performance. But this time round, Barcelona is just favorite qualifying to the next stage of the Champions League. Guys, if you disagree, let me know in the comment section because right now Barcelona, they have the majority chances of going to the next stage of the competition. And I think they actually did very well. And it's rather unfortunate that they will not be keeping Xavi to the next season because I think next season he has already agreed with Barcelona that he would like to go. But that performance, that changes he made in the second half of the game was absolutely marvelous, was absolutely something that I didn't expect from him. But hey, that is the football game for you. And hey, there's no mercy when it comes to Champions League. And Barcelona didn't show that mercy of being the underdogs of that game. And for sure, they have done very well. PSG, for me, they've been actually in, like Simon, you rightly said, the league is making them that superior. But when it comes to Champions League, they always disappoint me. Probably there was that was last 3 seasons or last 2 seasons against Real Madrid. We all expected because Real Madrid that season was not just performing. We expected
yeah,
PSG to just win the game hands down. But they won at their home and then bottled it in Bernabeu. And I don't expect anything different. That's why Mbappe keep on saying he's leaving the club because when he's there, like his talent is going to be wasted. His talent is just because for how many seasons they will buy all the players. Imagine all Messi, Di Maria, Sergio Ramos, all of them comes in and then also go without winning Champions League trophy for PSG. So when I thought are they going to win it? I don't think it's now.
You know,
Yeah.
one thing I would say about PSG is um, PSG actually lacks character. That's the first. They lack character. They lack the history of Champions League, and also their biggest problem is they don't have a solid team. You know, it's easy to buy players, to buy top
Mhm.
players, but if you don't have a compact team, I don't think you can go anywhere. A team that I would say is an example to football world is the Chelsea that Di Matteo used to win the Champions League. That was a team.
Mm,
That was a complete team. They played for each other. Nobody took them to win the Champions League, but they did. You understand? Bringing in Messi, bringing in Ramos, bringing in Neymar, all those projects, they were very good projects, but it was built on nothing. The foundation was poor. So if you have a poor foundation,
yeah, sorry for that.
yeah. So yeah, if you have a poor foundation, as I was saying, it doesn't allow the team to progress well. Maybe the attack is doing well, but then football is a complete game. It's a team game. We have the attackers, we have the midfielders, we have the defenders, and we have the goalkeeper. So if there's that teamwork, that's what pushes the team going forward. So if PSG wants to correct that, I think that is what is happening. Is going to happen next season. From what Luis Enrique said, he said now he's thinking of building that team, structuring the team, rather than thinking of top talents. And I think that is going to help PSG a lot because big names don't actually win trophies.
Big names
Yeah.
don't actually win trophies. Exactly point well constructed. And for sure, since big game is not winning trophies, let's see um which game next. we today I think there's another game coming on which is Dortmund against Atletico Madrid, which I find it very, very, very exciting to actually talk about because this one is no fearless. We don't need to fear anyone. We don't need to just we say it as it is. And for sure, Champions League football. And now Dortmund try to come back the first leg when Atletico Madrid scored two goals to nil. They tried to come back into the game, but unfortunately they were able to get a away goal over there, even though the away goal doesn't have any significance again. And now they just need to win the game at home, and they need two goals to nil or two goals ahead of um or one goal ahead of Atletico Madrid to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Simon, let me start with you. What do you think is going to happen in that game since it's going to happen in German and Dortmund for that matter?
Yeah. I remember before the first leg, I said quite clearly that that game was a game of two not really informed teams, and a game will be a game of chances here and there. And I didn't watch the match, but upon watching highlights, there were a lot of chances in those games, in that game. And I think most of the chances were for Atletico Madrid, but they squandered these chances. And I am thinking before the first leg, I was leaning towards Dortmund. I was surprised that Atletico could pull through in that match. And even their goals were from mistakes. The one or two, I think the first goal was from a mistake from the Dortmund defense. So if they had a chance to bury the game at home and they didn't do that, Dortmund is capable. I think Dortmund is capable of coming back into this game. They have the quality. They were able to beat Bayern this season. But on the other hand, to Atletico is the only team that has been able to beat Madrid this season, Real Madrid this season. So both teams have something they can hold as their strength and be proud of. But I'm still leaning towards Dortmund. I think they are going to come back in this game and finally go through. Atletico has been sloppy this season. Yeah.
So, Sammy, your thoughts on that game? So, I think Simon is
Hmm.
leaning on Dortmund might qualify or they will qualify. So,
Yeah.
what's your perspective or your expectation of that game?
Yeah. So judging from the last game, I think it was what I actually thought it would be. Atletico going through, and Atletico should have scored a lot. Um, Beginning of the season, Atletico did not really have a good start. That is in La Liga, but towards this new year, Atletico has really changed radically. Though they've lost some games, you know, nobody had scored them at their home. Just only Barca went to spoil that record, scoring them by 3-0. So just imagine their home grounders is like their holy ground. So the best you can get there is a draw. Now, judging from how Atletico and the form of Griezmann, it has been very, very tremendous. That is a positive um, form. So looking at the last game, judging from Dortmund's last few games too, you can't really trust Dortmund, though the new coach is actually doing well, and I'm very proud of him. I think next season is going to be his season to actually move forward well because this season is more or less he's a young coach. He's trying to learn stuff, see how it's going. But then, judging from the history, judging from the odds, I think Atletico is going through.
So, Simon, yeah, Sammy, your line was breaking, so the last point was not well understood. But then, we'll just carry on, with
He
that.
said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
He
so I
said
was saying that,
Atletico is going through. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
I was,
Atletico is going through.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's a game of throne for me as well because you look at both sides and look at their weight this season and their form this season. Even though one could imagine Dortmund, where they are coming from and where they are going, because in the Champions League didn't actually get that strong opponent. Like if I say strong opponent, like the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Manchester City, the likes of, but they have been able to, since it's Champions League, they have been able to reach these quarterfinals. And in quarterfinals, anything can happen. A slip with Atletico Madrid can change the whole game, and a slip from Dortmund can change the whole team. Like just what they did there, just a defensive mistake in Atletico home, they were able to punish with that, and that's the quality of Champions League we are actually talking about. And for me, Dortmund, for me actually, since Klopp left there, I think, and Tuchel came on and raised up that momentum over there. I think there hasn't been that kind of challenge or that kind of form Dortmund since Tuchel left there. And I think it's something that we are actually looking at. And for me, I think Atletico Madrid is favorite going into, since they have already won in the first leg. But at Dortmund, the kind of support their fans are having in the stadium, it could also it can disrupt any team in the world. It can disrupt any world form team in the world because they don't, whether they are losing or not, the kind of noise that is in the stadium, the kind of support they throw to their players, believe it or not, they are going to perform wonders. And watch out for that game. There might be a full of surprises in that game for sure. But I am not going to choose a side by either of these teams can actually go, because when you look at away record of Atletico Madrid too, you cannot say a lot about it. But for home, we all know what they can do in a brighter day or even at bad days at home. But away record is not all that good as well. But let's see, because they have an experienced coach who has been in Champions League for quite a long time, and he know all the tactics, and he know what he's capable of doing. So let's see what is going to happen, guys. Carry on. Let me answer this call, then probably I will join you guys.
okay, okay, yeah. So today's games are the Barca. I'm thinking that both clubs will go for a conservative method. but PSG will come
Mm-hmm.
all out because PSG will want to go for a win. But then I'm seeing Xavi trying to control the tempo, play,
Mm-hmm.
control the game, frustrate PSG, and with the fans behind Barca, I see that is the kind of thing you want to do in today's match.
Yeah,
Simon, what do you think?
I agree with you. And as Ashili said earlier on, I'm not happy Xavi is leaving Barca because I see Xavi to be more like Xabi Alonso. You know, these kind of players, they have the IQ. They just need the time. Barca or the Spanish, I would say the Spanish Barca fans are not having patience with Xavi. I don't know for what reason, but I think it's more of the pressure he's facing. Some games he's lost, some games he's supposed to win, he's drawn them, and because of that, there's whole lot of pressure. So the pressure upon him that has made him to decide to end his journey with Barca. But I wished they could have just be patient with Xavi, and if he had a full team, maybe buy a couple of though Barca is facing some financial crisis, but when this financial crisis is being resolved and you have some good quality players amongst the team, Barca is going to come back. Because now the danger is Barca has a couple of young players, and these young players are really good. They just need grooming. Exactly.
Yeah,
Just like Madrid too. Madrid has also young players, and Madrid is having a time of their season with such energy in the team because of the young players in the team. So I think Xavi is going to conserve the game, and they have speed also on the wings. So Rafinha is going to make runs against the PSG defense, and I don't think PSG defense is not as strong as the former PSG defenses I know. So they are going
yeah,
to be at risk. Yeah,
yeah.
if trying
You
to
sh
come all out, and that is the only option they have to. They have to
hmm
come out all out.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not, they can't win the game, and
hmm
they will be punished for that. Yeah.
And you should also consider that the yellow cards will also affect Barca because Christensen
Mhm.
for the whole of this season, Christensen have been wonderful for Barca, playing the deep role playmaker, the number six or the defensive midfielder. He has been phenomenal, has been good, and losing him in this game, in fact, it's quite worrying. Looking at the likes of Frankie de Jong and Pedri, who were also injured, coming back, though yes, the first game, the game they played at PSG at Paris, they showed that yeah they have the quality, but the
Yeah.
sharpness was not there. The sharpness was not there. So it's actually going to hit Barca a bit, but I'm thinking that we still have quality players. If Gundogan and Frankie plays at double pivots, allowing Pedri to roam about, or if yeah, that's I'm sure that is the game that he's going to play. So if you need any other defensive midfielder, you bring Oreo. But we all know the form of Oreo, which is very terrible. But then PSG too would try as much as possible to take their chances from Dembele. If you watched it, most of Barca, the first leg, Barca was really focused on Mbappe,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
left Dembele
Yeah.
to do. We all know that
The leg.
Dembele is a very good player, but he doesn't know how to score. That is that is
Yeah.
one that is one of the main reasons why they gave Dembele that free role. But coming to this game, I'm sure Luis Enrique will try to get each and everyone involved because Mbappe was totally out of the game, so we did not see Mbappe.
Yeah.
But as a player with such qualities, I'm sure this game we will see him. But then with the likes of Paul Kobase, the likes of Araujo, in fact they have been sweet, they have been excellent defensively this season. In fact, it's a blessing for us to have a 17-year-old who has played his second game and is playing at that high maturity. It's really, 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 really serious. I know that I'm hoping that they would stop both Mbappe and Dembele this game.
Well,
But
let's see how they are going to be able to stop them. But just since we are still we are still talking about Barcelona, I wanted to like Gundogan in the midfield. Like sometimes it's like he's too much overwork, and then it's like he's not getting that kind of support because the Gundogan we know as Manchester City was someone who was going into the box to box and be able to score goals up front and all that. But in Barcelona, he's not able to do that. What do you think Xavi should be able to do to get that informed goals out of him?
okay, so Gundogan this season actually has a record that he's never had before. That is the number of assists he has given and the number of goals he has scored. I think this is his best season so far. But then Gundogan can do more. The only problem is, after Busquets left, it kept a very deep hole in Barca. We tried to bring Romeo, but it did not work. We all saw that it could not work. So we actually have to convert Christiansen, who is a defender, to become a defensive midfielder. You
Midfielder,
understand?
yeah.
Now, if you have a defender to become a defensive midfielder, you need support. You need a partner. And the likes of injuries also did not. Barca is the only team who has a lot of midfield changes this whole season. Is a team with the most changes. We've seen the likes of Gavi go to injury, Frankie injury, Pedri injury. The only person who have been stable is Gundogan. So if you have such quality, you can't just allow him to go because he knows how to hold the tempo of the game. That is why mostly, if you don't have a defensive midfielder, he comes in to control the game. But I'm thinking, yes, and today too, without Christensen, he's still going to come and play the double pivot. So I think in the future, maybe next season, when Barca is able to get the defensive midfielder they want, it will help push Gundogan forward to be more creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
To add to
absolutely.
that, yeah, injuries has been, I think, one of the major problems of aside I think they've had two major problems this season: the financial crisis and the injuries, as it has destabilized their playing system. Because I believe if Xavi is to have a fixed team match after match throughout this season, or let's say throughout most of this season, he could have proved something because he did it last season. So even Rafinha has had his fair share of injuries as well. So that is the problem that Barca has been facing. And the question about Gundogan having that role to be able to play like the way he played in Manchester City, I feel if they have a fixed squad and have a lineup with Gundogan and they understand, they play with each other. I think even up to now, I don't think there's that much chemistry between Gundogan and Pedri and Gavi. These players, they've not had to build their chemistry yet. Because if these players are put together, the midfield is put together and they play for some time with each other and they build that chemistry, Barca is going to be dangerous. So that is the problem. Yeah.
So we are talking about Barca because in few hour like an hour and few minutes time, I think the game will be kick starting for sure, and that's why we are much concentrated on these two games. Maybe probably tomorrow, if we have more time, we'll deal into the Real Madrid and also Manchester City or Arsenal and also at Bayern Munich for sure. But this game we you when you are talking about Barcelona, I think you are forgetting something. You are forgetting that this is a PSG side that can also punish you in their brighter day. Even though Barcelona was able to stop Mbappe from operating, but once again, Dembele showed his what he can do in a brighter day, and their midfield probably sometimes. is very good. The only thing I am actually afraid of is their defense, because defensive work of Barcelona, PSG is always a problem. And you don't forget a coach like uh, Enrique. Enrique is someone who knows the in and out of Barcelona and Bernabeu. So when you are talking about those things, you should be
No.
mindful of what Enrique can also do, because he can also change a system that will actually hurt Barcelona in Bernabeu. Sammy, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, so unfortunately we are not playing the game first. We are not playing the game at Camp Nou. So
Bernab-
most of
Bernabeu.
no, Camp Nou. Camp Nou is the Barca
Camp
stadium,
Nou.
but we are not playing it.
Sorry.
We are not playing it at Camp Nou.
Really?
Yeah, this season we are constructing the Camp Nou. So all
Oh,
the matches have
okay.
been at the John Gapta. Um,
Okay.
so that alone gives the PSG the edge, the happiness that hey, this is not Camp Nou, because everybody knows what happens in Camp Nou. That is a dangerous stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So but that notwithstanding, we know the quality of Luis Enrique. No, that's one thing my brother Simon said. If you take your time to watch the technical know-how of these Spanish coaches, you will love them. They bring football, the likes of Guardiola, the likes of Arteta, the likes of what's the name? Xavi
Xavi, yeah.
Alonso. You see, these guys are smart. These guys know football. These guys know when and how to control a game. Um, these are smart
But
guys.
let me just, before you continue, Eddie is in the
Mhm.
stadium though.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Eddie's in the stadium.
He just called
Um,
me.
Oh, Dortmund,
So
yeah.
yeah,
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 Dortmund, Atletico Madrid.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Eddie's going to support Dortmund. So yeah. So
So
yeah.
and also before we actually go, I think the lineup is also out probably as well.
Oh, that's
So
good news.
let me yeah. So Sammy, continue. Let me see whether I can actually get it to the
Yeah, so
screen.
talking of PSG, we have not forgotten what PSG can do, especially attack. And one thing that is also going to help PSG a lot is the coming back of Hakim. Hakimi is back, and he's one of the best right backs in the world. He helps with
Yeah.
goal
Yeah.
contribution. He helps with goals, and it's a boost for the PSG team. But
Yeah.
then that's what I said. Xavi's game, looking at the first half, PSG actually had the ball possession. And what was Barca doing? Barca was actually playing long balls. Rafinha making the runs, then there's a long ball to Rafinha. This is the same tactics Xavi is going to play, because now PSG needs a goal. So if you need a goal, you need to attack. And when you attack, you leave spaces. So I think this game is whoever makes good use of their spaces. And if Barca is able to hold PSG till first half without conceding, I think it's going to be a Barca win. But then if Barca concedes within the first 20 minutes, I think that is going to be bad news for Barca, because it's going to build pressure for them.
Yeah. To add to that, actually, you spoke about the season where Madrid was matched up against PSG, and as you rightly
Yeah.
said, Madrid was in a poor form that season. Madrid was performing really, really bad in the league. And that match, myself as a Madrid fan, I wasn't confident in my team, that set of team. And uh, but at the end of that matchup, Madrid came through, and that was the moment I concluded that PSG is not a team to for the Champions League, because it's going to take some time for them to get to the Champions League. Probably if they can keep Luis Enrique and believe in him in the long term, they might get that Champions League. But uh, as of now, no, because they've had teams, they've had players, but they are still lacking. As Sammy said, they one thing they lack is the mental strength. you don't see that mental strength, that like you don't see that passion that like they want to win this game, or they are coming for you. You don't see it in this team. So for me, no matter what they have on the field, I don't see them going through against Barca, because I
Okay,
don't know.
so
It's
let's
more of a test. That's how I see.
so let's
Yeah, yeah,
run
yeah.
through the lineup. Then probably we could discuss about the lineup before uh, we actually get into other things. So Barcelona lineup, we have Stegen in the goal post, and he's playing. First of all, he's playing 4-3-3, as that's Javi usual formation that he always play. So Julius Kunde is on the right. We have Cancelo on the left, and we also have Ronald Araujo and also Kubasi playing the central defense for Barcelona. And in midfield, he has Dijon Frank Dijon in between Gundogan and also Pedri. That's for the midfield three pair for Xavi. And up front, they have and Rafinha playing to the left, and Lamina Yamal as the youngster you rightly mentioned. He's to the right of the wing side of Barcelona, and Robert Lewandowski in the main striking area for Barcelona. So, and PSG on the other hand, PSG on the other hand, they have actually Donnarumma on the goal post for sure, and also they are also playing 4-3-3. We all know Enrique as well. He also like that formation so much, but he has a way of twisting his 4-3-3 as well. So, but then in the back four they have Ashraf Hakimi at the right, and also Mendes at the left, and we have Lucas Hernandez and Capitano Marquinhos on the central defense for PSG. They have Intinha. He's the player I actually for, because in the first leg he actually did very very well in his position. And we also have Emery and Fabian Ruiz in the midfield pair for PSG. And up front we have is it Basola? Bradley
Yeah, but
Basola playing to the right wing, and we also have Osman Dembele to the left wing, and Kylian Mbappe striking. So, Sammy, hmm,
yeah.
this is this is something that
So
we're
for look,
actually expecting.
yeah, looking at the lineup, there's positive for both teams. For Barca, we do not see the likes of Lamine in the last game. Lamine has been an exciting forward for this season. Everybody knows the ability of this guy. He can actually single-handedly change a game. That is how good this 16-year-old is. So being at home, being at the Joao Kamba Stadium, I'm thinking that Lamine will step up his game. Also, with the likes of Hakimi, as I mentioned, he's actually going to bring that breath of new air for PSG, that attacking wise, that speed. He's going to actually inculcate it in the team. You mentioned Vitinha. Vitinha is a top midfielder, but the problem is that playing checking both midfields, you cannot dominate Barca midfield. That's the problem. You cannot. No matter how special you are, you cannot. It actually took Madrid 10 years to groom Tony Cruz and the likes of Modric. We saw them running after Xavi and Iniesta. So you know how it is when it comes to
Facts,
Barca's
facts.
midfield. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So there's positive for both sides, but it's slightly in favor of Barca.
Yeah.
Simon,
Um, he said it rightly. And talking about, for me, the moment you mentioned the lineup, the lineup to me tells everything. Because if you look at the midfield, you can't compare PSG midfield to this Barcelona's midfield in terms of even Champions League experience. PSG midfield, none of them have. Champions League experience as compared to the midfield that Barca is presenting. So that alone is a disadvantage for PSG. And with the DNA of, as he said, with the DNA of Barca in terms of possession, Gundogan knows how to possess the ball. He's learned that from Guardiola, who invented the tiki taka in Barca, and who else? Frank De Jong is also good at possession. Pedri, masterclass. That is an upcoming Xavi or Iniesta to say. So I
I
don't
never
see
see
how this.
I never
Mhm.
see Real Madrid fan saying a lot about Barcelona like this. Hey.
No,
It's a football fan.
exactly. Thank you. I'm a football fan. When I see good things, I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I remember I used to, when Guardiola was in Barca, was it Guardiola that invented this tiki taka? Am I getting it right?
No, Guardiola
Was it, it
actually
was
No,
also
no.
Enrique?
no. The one who invented tiki taka is this guy from Netherlands. Oh, how can I forget him? Forgive me. Johan
Um,
Cruyff,
um,
the one who
Yeah, but I mean in Barca, who introduced the play in Barca? The coach who introduced that play in Barca, that kind of possession, ball possession in Barca. Which coach introduced it in Barca? Because why I'm saying that is, as a Real Madrid fan, when I was in Ghana, I used to just go to watch Barca match because of the beauty of the football. That is fact. I was a Real Madrid fan. I am a Real Madrid fan, but when I see something nice, I enjoy City, watching City, because I just love how they arrange passes, how they build up their games. So I'm a fan of football, as Sabi said, and when I see something interesting, I want to enjoy it or see that part more of it. So Barca has a beautiful, per their history, they've always had a nice way of playing football. I think it's been not quite to that level in recent years, but uh, it's their DNA. So when I see good football, I'm always down for it. I would like to watch anytime. Yeah.
anytime. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So let's see. It's about the momentum. It's about how things are actually working out. And I'm actually looking out to display Atletico Madrid, and also I think Sami has just maybe the network. Maybe he will be back. He hasn't said
Mhm.
anything yet. But let's check the lineup for what's the name? Uh, Atletico Madrid, Dortmund, Atletico Madrid as well, because these two are also something that we actually talked about as well. And for me, it's a game that you can actually you cannot predict right, because anything can
Yeah.
happen in that game as well. So on the screen, okay, Sammy is here. So Sammy, we are just going through the lineup of Dortmund as well. Dortmund, Atletico Madrid as well. So
yeah.
let's quickly get that as well, and then so Borussia Dortmund have Kobel on the goalpost. They are playing that diamond shape formation. That's 4-2-4-5-1. Usually, some people call it 4-2-3-1, but it's 4-5-1. So they are back for. We have Julian Reinsen in the right side, and we have I'm Madison, the Chelsea loanee, in the left side, and we have also Nico and also Hamels in the central defense for sure. And we have Sabitzer and Emre Can, a very experienced midfielder for Borussia Dortmund, and also very experienced in terms of everything. Is going to be wow for sure. So he's actually pairing the midfield with Sabisa in Dortmund midfield area. And up front, the mid three midfielder, they have Jadon Sancho at the left side, and also Karim Adiemi. He's also very, very good winger as well in the left and the right side. And they have in the middle there, we have Brandt. Brandt is Kai Havertz teammate as well. He's also very, very, very good for sure. And
Yeah,
striker, they have Nick, is it Niklas Fulkrug in the striking area. So on the other hand, we have Atletico Madrid. We all know how defensive they are, and Simeone always go for defending. He defends a lot, and when it comes to away games, this formation, some people term it as five back, some people term it as three back, because if you are playing three back, you are more or less defending. But the modern three back is kind of attacking. But I know Atletico Madrid will defend a lot, so it's just automatically five back for Simeone. And we have Oblak in the goalpost as usual, Azil, Wissa, and also is it Gimenez and Hermoso in the back three for Simeone. The right wing back we have Molina, and also in the left wing back he's playing the experienced defender in the Champions League ever to leave as well, which is Cesar Azpilicueta. And in the three midfield, they are playing Koke and Marcus Llorente and Rodrigo De Paul. These are the three midfield he's playing, and up front he's playing two in front of the three midfielder, which is Anton Griezmann, and also Alvaro Morata. And Morata, these two guys have also have a lot of experience in the midfield as well. So in the striking area and also in Champions League as well. So Simon, Sami said the network actually is worrying him. So let's see what your reaction would be.
okay. Looking at Dortmund lineup, that is a solid team. To be honest with you, I don't see anyone in that team. The only person I see who is has been a little bit sloppy this season is Schlotterbeck. That is their one of their central backs. Center backs, yeah. And Hamels has been good this season. Sabitzer, we know him. He's been performing. Julian Brandt, very good guy, also good quality. Now introduction of Sancho. Sancho is also performing wonders with his dribbling ability, ball control. So Adeyemi is more of a speed. He's very fast on the ball. So you can see some speed game going on in this from the Dortmund side. And I don't think Atletico team as a whole, they are not a team of speed. Yes, they don't have runners in their team. So if it comes to a game of speed, counter attacks, or running into spaces, Dortmund is likely going to punish Atletico on that field. And as you said, I don't know if Simeone is going to keep up with his defensive minded tactics. He's up one goal ahead, so then he comes to your home and comes to defend. If he's going to do that, and that hasn't helped him in his previous Champions League experiences. So if he leans back to that, then that is going to be a catastrophic game for him and his team. So he better come out and play against Dortmund. When he comes out and play against Dortmund, I think he has a quality to also possess against Dortmund. So I won't see the need for him to come and defend. If he does that, then that will be an easy game for Dortmund to qualify. So looking at also Atletico's lineup, these are guys we know. Each of them have their standards. And Sami has made mention of Griezmann. Griezmann has been spectacular this season. Yes, he's really been spectacular. I think the thing Atletico is lacking this season are the finishes. They are really lacking the finishing this season, and that is what has caused them a lot of games this season, even in La Liga, because they have chances and they can't just finish it. Korea used to be the guy you bring in the game and he's getting you a goal. But this season he's playing a bit more minutes than before, but he gets the chances and he's wasting all of them. It's only Griezmann and who is pulling through. So in terms of attack, Atletico doesn't have much to depend on or to reside on. So that's why on these basis, that's why I keep saying that I see Dortmund going through finally in at the end of the
But
game.
but
But Champions League, as we
but
said,
look,
is a game of surprises. So anything can
yeah,
happen at the
Game
end
of
of the day.
Thrones.
Yeah.
It's Game of Thrones. Anything can happen. But you look at the lineup. For me, I look at Atletico Madrid having a lot of experienced players in the Champions League than Dortmund. But Dortmund have that kind of experience in the Champions League. They have experience in the Champions League. They have experience in the Champions League. So So it's going to have a lot of pressure on them because they are packing in the midfield with the wings back, actually putting pressure on
Sorry,
Dortmund.
sorry
And
to cut you. You were off for a while. For I think so for some
yeah,
seconds you were paused.
yeah,
Okay,
is
you
the is
noticed it.
the yeah, I
Okay,
noticed it. So
okay.
I wanted to chat you
All
to
right.
come. When it's done like that, just continue because the internet is actually a bit worrying a little bit sometimes. But then
Mm-hmm.
what I
Mm-hmm.
was saying is that you look at what Atletico is giving Dortmund in that formation. They want to put that pressure. They want to put that space between their midfield and then the goal post so that Dortmund will find it very difficult in breaking their defensive line. That wing backs that you see is going to put pressure on Dortmund. Dortmund plays that kind of possession football. They want to possess, work from back, and then be able to go forward, move forward to create chances. So Atletico Madrid will actually want to stay back, put that kind of hold on because when you are playing away, you don't open that, particularly when you are when you already won the first or win the first leg. You don't open that game that much. So they will try to hold on to the defensive line and try to put pressure on the wings. And in putting pressure on the wings, it will minimize the attacks of Dortmund in the midfield area. So they are kind of going to find it very difficult to create chances. But Dortmund is Dortmund. Whatever be the case, in their home, they will try to create a lot of chances. And Atletico Madrid, it will be very, very, very fortunate on their part to defend this game. If they defend it, Dortmund is going to come. Mind you, if they get one goal, it's going to go extra time. They need two goals to qualify. And getting one goal, it will disrupt Atletico a lot. So the only thing they need to do is open up in the few minutes. When they get a goal, then they start defending. But if they start to defend from first minute to finish, I think they are going to lose the competition this time around. But let's see. Simeone have a lot of experience than the Dortmund when it comes to Champions League. And that's what experience always counts when it comes to Champions League. We see teams that comes in without experience, and at the end of the day, they lack because of lack of experience. They are not able to make it up there. But hey, anything can happen. Um, just a clue about Real Madrid, Manchester City. Then we will talk about a little bit of Chelsea, then wrap it up.
Okay. So in that is the game to watch. Um, and it's a game that is always hard to predict. It's difficult. You can't tell. The odds will favor City because they are at home,
Hmm.
and They've been spectacular at home this season. Same as Madrid too. Madrid has been spectacular at home this season. But it's a game where two tactical, very tactically experienced coaches, they make one change and they put you off. So the only problem with Guardiola is sometimes he can overthink things and end up bottling the game. So if he doesn't overthink things and he plays to what he plays according to his tradition or the traditional players or the regular players he uses, his main starting lineup. I know definitely De Bruyne is playing this match without doubt, but I don't know of Kyle Walker because yeah, Madrid was one advantage Madrid has over is this City defense is the speed. Their defenders are not as fast as attackers, and Kyle Walker is the only guy in there who can match up with Vinicius, Speed, and Rodrigo, and whoever else. So that is where the problem comes in, and hopefully Kyle Walker plays, and that will limit Vinicius to some extent, and that can be positive for City. De Bruyne is back, and that is another big problem for Real Madrid. And as I said in their preview, the first leg, they didn't have their starting lineup. That is not their main starting lineup, their full starting lineup, sorry to say, in so far this season or in that game. So having their starting lineup at home with their fans, it's hard to lean towards Madrid. But this is the Champions League once again. it's it's never fails to surprise
It's never
anytime.
over until it's over.
Exactly. And this game is going to be a really fun game to watch. It's City and Real Madrid game has never disappointed. The match is full of tactical plays beyond like high Q plays. I mean, so it's really going to be a fun game. And as I said earlier on, that I don't see Roma. I'm a Real Madrid fan, but honestly, based on statistics, I don't see Madrid going through. I think City would end up winning and will go through. And if they go past Madrid, I think that is over. They are going to repeat. They are going to defend their league.
Yeah, title.
They are going to defend their title. And funny enough, they are also up the table in Premier League. They are also still. I think they are also still in the FA Cup as well. So is it a
Yeah, FA
treble
Cup, they are going to play
before
against Chelsea on Sunday
Chelsea?
or
Exactly.
Saturday. Mhm.
So while the season was going, we never saw a a a, a repeat of their the repeat. We never saw like that you're going to repeat the treble. But now things are looking like if City gets past Madrid, I don't see any other team that is going to stop City. And in
Well,
the Premier
Arsenal is
League, they
still
are
there.
up there.
Bayern is still there.
No, I don't. Bayern is struggling. Even they can't get past Arsenal, and you want to get past it,
That's
that
why I
is
said any
impossible.
of them, Bayern could qualify, Arsenal could qualify. So
And both of them, they can't. They can't see how Ateta bottled the league just 2 days ago or so. You know, Mourinho's. I think I told you Mourinho made a statement. He was asked about who he thinks is going to win the league, and at the time he was asked, I think Arsenal was probably about some points up the table at the time, and he clearly stated that no, he doesn't see Arsenal is not going to win the EPL. He doesn't see them to be the team to win it. It's either City or Liverpool, and it's clear that they are still not yet up to the standard to be able to what to win games and win the league. But yet again, it's football. Football is always full of surprises. So let's see what the future holds.
okay, so let's see what the future holds. Yesterday, Chelsea, what a game! Chelsea Everton. What a game. What a game. This
I
look, I don't even know how to say about Cole Palmer. He's a real big deal. He's a real big deal. But then the whole of the team actually performed a lot. All of them actually performed very well for sure. But at the end of the day, scoring 6-0, I wasn't expecting that. But then they did it. They did it. Cole Palmer hat trick again and 4 goals. Jackson goal was super. It was like, if you have sugar, then you don't feel the taste. You try to add honey to it, and then you see that the taste becomes so super that you cannot even describe it. I think that's the feeling I have for Chelsea, because for the season, there are 2 games that I actually love about it. That is against United and also against Everton.
um
The only problem they had was quarreling for the penalty.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But I think who the first I don't who is your first penalty taker?
It's
Who is
Cole
number
Palmer.
one?
Cole
Yeah,
Palmer.
so that is there's nothing more to argue about. As far as he's the first and he wants to take it. If he decides to give it over, fine. But as far as he's been selected as the first, he has every right to take that penalty. And I understand why you are gassed up or you're excited about Chelsea's performance yesterday. But um to me is of no it doesn't excite me that much because um Chelsea has not been the Chelsea we've known, and probably because of that, when they win a match like this with such amount of goals, one problem of Chelsea this season has been the finishing. They've lacked finishing. Because I've watched 1 or 2 games, and the main problem was they just don't put the ball into the net. They create chances, all right, but Jackson is not able to put the ball into the net. Sterling, when he has his stats, he's just wasting chances. So that has been your problem this season. So it's a delight to see Coco Palmer or some goals entering from yesterday's match. And we initially spoke about Coco Palmer, that this is the guy of your team. He's the star man, and he just needs a few more experienced or quality players to his uh, on the field,
His
and
game.
Chelsea will be to his game, and Chelsea would be producing more results. I think you need more players that can finish the ball. You need people who are more accurate at goal, and that will help Chelsea a lot. I think that is majorly your problem because I've watched 2 full games, and that is what I saw from the game. That you create chances, all right, but you lack the finishing. You
For
lack the
sure, that one
finishing.
has been
So
has been since.
as far as you're able to put in 6 goals yesterday, then it's positive. We hope you can carry that same energy up to the subsequent games.
Okay, so guys, this is going to be like something very, very, very interesting for sure. And hey, watch out for the Champions League as well. My guys have predicted a fearless prediction for sure. And hey, you need to be part of it, and you need to be part of everything we are actually building right now. And hey, they have made it and they have said everything. And if you are new, still remember to subscribe and be part of this amazing community. And we'll see you in the next game as well. All right. Thanks and bye.